Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Thank you, one and all, for being here. And thank you, Fancy, for being here first. I really, really appreciate your punctuality. I'm going to try to be more like you, by the way. Let's see. And hello to Heather Stroud, Kathy G, Lorna Murray, Helen Marmon, Lydia Washington, and a bunch of other people. Okay, let's get on with it. Maybe we can get out of here in an hour. Let's see how it goes. Make myself comfortable. You know, this chair is lasting a long time. This is my second Costco chair. Yeah, this is my second Costco chair. And since Royal Sussex, this is probably my fourth chair. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's number 4 or 5. Yeah, I go through these things. They start squeaking and howling in pain. Okay. Okay, so Meghan posted a video with the girls from the Cookie Queens. And if you haven't seen it yet, I don't know that I can share it. I'm going to err on the side of not. But are they still after Dr. Fauci? Oh, my goodness. I just saw that again. And then, of course, Martha Stewart seems to be trending. Oh, okay. I see her walking in those Birkenstocks. Yeah, she has gotten herself into, well, anyway, we'll talk about that. I don't know what to think of all of this. Okay. There we go. So, Royal Sussex, that's where we are right now, right? I like that picture right there. I don't know where it originates, but I had to change it for my own Royal Sussex reasons. I like it better like that. I don't know what it said before. And as the fundraiser, I checked about 2 hours ago, and we were at 6,745. I think we are going to go hurtling toward that 20K in no time. I am just blown away by how fast the money is coming in. Remember, this money is for the very same children's hospital that Harry and Meghan visited when they were on their tour in Australia, right? The Royal Children's Hospital. So the link goes directly to the hospitals. It does not go to the Sussex squad. The Sussex community events are always very careful to make sure that the link goes directly to the recipient. So there is no money going to any Sussex interest whatsoever. It goes directly there. Okay. So yeah, that is the amount. Probably a little bit more than that right now. And oh, I need to give you the link, don't I? Let me grab that link for you for the fundraiser. And where is it? Okay. Coming up, you guys, coming up. Keep it coming up, keep it coming up. Don't stop it now, stop it now. Okay. Oh, it's another $20. Yes, it's gone up another $20 since I looked at it last. Okay, so that is still somewhat accurate. There is the link. Okay. Now let me double check that and make sure that that's where it goes. Yes, it does. And I've already donated twice because for some reason you couldn't see the first one. So I had to go back and do it again. Oh, I see Diane Hawkins has donated. I guess I can say this because it's there. Anybody can see it. Let me see who else has donated. There's a whole bunch of donations from somebody named Anonymous. I don't know who that is. That's a weird name, Anonymous. Tracy Brown, Amy with 2 E's, Carrie. Wow. Celia Sino, I think is how you pronounce it. Fatima. Okay. Sussex Shining. Wow, okay. Yes, the blessings are pouring in. Okay, that warms my heart to see that. So if you want to see that, you could also click that link just to see who has donated so far. I am loving it. And on Antonio from Majesty Sussex Report. I always say Majestic. Majesty Sussex Report has donated. Wow, and I think he's donated more than once. Okay, so if you're as nosy as I am, oh, there's Royal Sussex. This donation is dedicated to Her Royal Highness Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. And for some reason, the other one is anonymous. Okay, so I'm done looking at that. I just like seeing Royal Sussex up there. Let's see. Oh, Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart. Let's get with Martha, shall we? Cooking legend Martha Stewart claims Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, was talking about her UK visit to see the King with Harry and the children at dinner party both attended. Well, that's a lot to unpack, isn't it? I thought that Hollywood was sick of Meghan. Hollywood didn't want to have anything else to do with Meghan. Meghan, Meghan, Meghan. Why is it always Meghan? Harry and Meghan have burned all of their bridges. Doors are closing. All of these things we have been told about the Sussexes and having no friends in Hollywood. Now, we don't know who the dinner, at least I don't recall seeing who threw the dinner party, but let's see. Martha claims Meghan was talking about her family trip. Meghan was talking about her family trip to the UK to see King Charles while at a dinner party. Okay, I just want to dissect this. So, who said to see King Charles? Did Meghan say that, or did the person who wrote this column, were they the ones who say that? We all know that the Sussexes were recently in the UK. We all know that. And we do know that there was a visit to the High Grove. And so that being said, it doesn't okay, did Martha say it or was it the person who wrote the article? So it is a very important distinction. And the reason why is because Tom Sykes, old Brer Rabbit himself, is trying to build a case against Meghan that Meghan was sitting at the party name dropping King Charles. And I just don't believe that to be true. I believe they went on vacation, and like any other proud mom and proud wife, Meghan spoke about their family holiday. It's what rich people do. You know how they say, "Oh, where do you holiday?" It's just that easy. Where do you holiday? Where did you holiday? Did you holiday this season? That is how the upper class people talk to each other. So, and of course, I wouldn't even uh, want anybody to think that Meghan puts on airs like that. But I'm just saying, uh, it's what people talk about. I talk about it all the time. Ah, okay. Oh, Lord. You know what? Let me save this headline. I'm going to talk about that one later. Not tonight, though. I just glanced at something. I'm going to save that one and we'll talk about that one next time. For now, just imagine a good eye roll, okay? That's all I have for them right now. Okay? All right. So let's continue. Um, the cooking legend said she recently attended the event in California, which the Duchess of Sussex also went to, and the pair briefly spoke. Briefly. It came days after Meghan and Prince Harry arrived home from their trip to Britain. Well, actually, yeah, okay. The two children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, having gone to visit the Duke's father, the King. I had dinner with Meghan. This is a quote. I had dinner with Meghan, and the other night we both were both guests. I'm sorry about that. We were both guests at a dinner party in California, and she had just gotten back from what let's see, the dinner. Okay, she had just got oh oh my goodness, is that cut off? Uh oh yeah, I see what I did there. Oh, sorry about that, you guys. I have kind of goofed this up. I have the same thing twice. I had dinner with Meghan Markle the other night. We're both guests were at a dinner party in California, and she had just gotten back from. All right, here's the quote again. I didn't talk to her really more than just to say a couple words, but I know she was talking about it. But I know she was talking about it. Uh huh. So that's the direct quote. So I don't see where Stewart said King Charles. I don't believe that she said that. I had dinner with Meghan the other night. We were both guests at a dinner party in California, and she had just gotten back from the palace, Stewart told People magazine, right? I didn't talk to her really more than to say a couple of words, but I know she was talking about it. She was talking about it. Okay, and then it goes on to say she commented on how she felt about Meghan stepping into her space following the launch of the Duchess's cooking show with Love Meghan. And it continues here. If you're an actress, it's hard to then transition to a princess and then from princess into a homemaking guru on a television show, Stewart said. It doesn't sort of follow, so go from there. It doesn't sort of follow, so go from there. I can't tell if this is an insult or not. It's the first time Stewart had passed comment on Meghan's arrival to the cooking world, with the star previously saying she hopes the Duchess knows what she's talking about. Yeah, that's an insult. That's an insult. And then she said, authenticity to me is everything. And to be authentic and knowledgeable about your subject matter is extremely important, is what Stewart had told Yahoo Lifestyle at the time. She also claimed she didn't mind the idea of having successors. Uh huh. Okay. Okay. Kind of snarky, kind of snarky, but you guys, I don't like that for one big reason. There are so many people doing lifestyle today. Why single out Meghan as a successor, which I don't believe Meghan ever had the plan of doing a long term gig like a Martha Stewart? Meghan's direction was to um, create a vehicle for as ever, right? Which is exactly what she's done. So the lifestyle, I I have the idea that that was going to be short-lived in the first place. That's what I believe. I don't believe it was supposed to be a long-term ongoing thing. And least of all, not something on Netflix that would be a long-term uh lifestyle show, so to speak. I don't see it that way. But anyway, there you have it. Let me take a look at a couple of your comments here. Oh, yeah, that's true. She is still a princess, just like Harry is still a prince. Yes, that's what I was trying to see. I don't see anywhere where Martha Stewart mentioned um comments about King Charles. Whoever wrote the article, that's where that comes from. So let me go over. I want to just check out one more thing. So that was from the Daily Mail. That's Catherine Lawton, senior news reporter. Okay, she's the one who said that. Hmm. Okay. I mean, that was it. Martha Stewart just said she had a few comments. I mean, that they had a few words. And I do not believe she mentioned anything about Meghan mentioning King Charles in any way whatsoever. So that is just something that was added by, um, I'm going to say Tom Sykes. I think Tom Sykes was the one who broke the story, I think. Or was it People magazine? Either way, someone threw the King Charles in there. And even if they didn't say it directly, they wanted people to believe that the intention was to talk about King Charles. That's what I think. Mm, okay, I'm looking at Tom Sykes here. I'm looking at Tom Sykes. We were both guests at a dinner party in California, and she had just gotten back from the palace. Is that in quotes? Okay, yeah, that's in quotes. So Martha Stewart is saying she had just gotten back from the palace. Still, that's an odd thing to say. Don't you think? She had just gotten back from England. She had just gotten back from the UK. Why would she say she had just gotten back from the palace? I didn't talk to her really more than to say a couple words, but I know she was talking about it. It, of course, is the High Grove Summit, the private July reunion between Harry, Meghan, and their children and the king, a meeting whose repetition depends depends on no briefing. So, okay, that's Tom Sykes saying that. That's not from Martha Stewart. Meghan's discussing the family meeting with a friend over dinner doesn't in itself wreck the arrangement. And so far, that is the beginning and the end of the story. Martha Stewart said she heard Meghan was talking about it. Full stop. Okay, so that's Tom Sykes saying that she heard that Martha Stewart says she heard Meghan was talking about it. Full stop. I'm only just really preoccupied with this because I'm just so sure. What is it? It's already Thursday. It's Friday for some of you guys. I am so sure that we're going to go into the weekend with the um, Royal Rota trying to say that Meghan is quoting or mentioning or telling everybody about the High Grove visit. I am just so sure that that's what they're going to do. It says here, but consider the mechanics. Martha, by her own account, exchanged barely a couple of words with Meghan and still came away knowing she was discussing her meeting with the king. The fact traveled across a dinner party into Martha's ear and out on the pages of People magazine, which may explain a certain nervousness in royal circles because it raised the obvious question, whose house? Which night? Who else was at the table? And do any of them know any journalists? Okay, so we don't know whose house it was. Is actual if actual content starts to emerge, here we go. What Meghan said about Charles, about Camilla. Now, see, shouldn't that be if Meghan said something about Charles, if Meghan said something about Camilla, about the atmosphere in the room? This becomes a genuine problem because it would breach the one condition made the meeting possible. And of course, that is the, what is it, omerta? Is that Latin? Omerta? Amateur? Amerta. Well, anyway, um, it is also a neat illustration of why the palace has been reticent about this reunion. The two camps now inhabit different worlds with different rules. Hmm. I'm sure Martha Stewart doesn't think she said anything wrong. Well, she said enough. She certainly said enough. Anyway, you guys, I'm probably making more out of it than what it really is, but I just don't want them to try to spin this into something negative. Huh, okay. All right. So I'm good with that one so far. Let me see what you guys say about that. I suppose it depends on whose house it was. Uh was it Guinea Tatum says a bunch of hogwash? It sounds sketchy. Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking that by the time the Royal Rota gets done with it, that it's going to turn into something completely different. Lex says Martha's old ass wants to be messy. B. The Mirror already has an insider that disputes Martha's version of events, plus Martha not sitting close to Meghan. Well, thank you for that. I did not realize that that was the case. Thank you for the super chat. But, well, it is Friday, so maybe it won't be much of it over the weekend. We'll see. They usually do their what do you call it? Their podcasts like on Thursdays and then air them Friday, or is it Wednesday and they air them Thursday? Either way, we're kind of on the other side of that. So let's see what happens. Let me see. Martha's comments got a recreation of an old photo of on People. Oh, Martha's got recreation of an old photo on People magazine. I didn't see that. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't see that. Let me see. uh, you're not making too much out of Big Mouth Martha, or she would explain herself. By the way, that image that you see right there, I actually kind of photoshopped that years ago, um, because I think she can be such a, you know, so that's why. But yeah, that's a publicity image of her, and I kind of added that blade myself because she is messy like that, and I think I forgot why I did that, but I did that a long time ago, and I think I put the photo on Facebook because she can be very messy. But generally, I um I was rather fond of her, but I'm not sure because she always talks out of the both sides of her mouth when it comes to Megan, and I'm not liking that. Cypher Vid says, sounds like the press is recycling an episode of The Crown when Jacqueline Kennedy was allegedly saying something bad about Queen Elizabeth II at a party. Boring and tomfoolery rubbish. Thank you very much. That is a very good example of this type of thing, is that recollections may vary, right? And they made a whole episode of The Crown about the Kennedys rubbishing Queen Elizabeth, something that in all likelihood never happened. I think that the Kennedys were very polished when it came to um, carrying themselves amongst very important people, and especially Jacqueline Kennedy. I mean, Jacqueline Kennedy was the very embodiment of poise and elegance, and I just don't see her being like that. The Crown took so much license with every detail, and it's unfortunate that that is going to serve as a permanent record of events for a lot of people. And the fact that it is a docudrama, a dramatization of actual events, conversations that probably never happened, but a lot of people will take it as a true reenactment of historic events. So I I enjoyed The Crown, but I don't think everybody looks at it with the same pair of eyes. Oh, thank you, Legs. They wanted to distract from Cookie Queen's MasterChef and Meghan's birthday. They want Meghan to be leaky Camilla. Meghan is relevant. She doesn't chase irrelevance. Thank you, Legs. You know, that makes more sense now that you say it, is to take some of the momentum away from what is actually an incredible week for the Duchess of Sussex. Thank you so much for that. Uh-huh. Not the convicted felon. Did she ever have an ankle bracelet? I don't recall. So yeah, there you go. Mm, well, you know what? Shockingly, the Daily Mail is not really leaning into it. Not yet. Wait until Rebecca English gets through. Remember this one? Phony, inauthentic, not fun. Netflix comedian gives scathing review of Meghan's new cookery show, telling fans she's no Martha flipping Stewart. Remember that monster there? When I was going through my archives, I came across this and I'm like, oh, I almost forgot about her. Let's see. I went to Cookie Queens today. Go watch it. Love it. Thank you for the super chat, Legs. Yeah, you all. It is August 7th. You all can go and see Cookie Queens. I gotta see if it's at my local theater. Maybe I can go in the early afternoon and see it. Thank you for that reminder. Now, this is the Martha Stewart I like. This is um this is what I want more of from Martha Stewart. That um liberal Democrat Martha Stewart, the one who flipped the bird to one person and peace out with the other. That's the Martha Stewart I want. None of this nonsense with these cooking shows and stuff. I mean, it's like that. Not that this is the best example, but I remember someone said Aretha Franklin takes that queen title very seriously. And, if you did not show deference to the queen, it wasn't going to be a good day. And I can see that Martha Stewart is being very protective of her status as the domestic goddess or whatever you want to call her, the whatever, the cooking show lifestyle wizzy wuzzy, whatever it is, she's being overly protective of it. So yes, a reminder, Cookie Queens coming to a theater near you, starts August 7th, only in theaters. Let me see. On the left, we have a Thin Mint. On the right, that is, I don't know what that one is. I think it's peanut butter and fudge. And the shortbread on the left, and that's that one with the peanut butter and the chocolate. Anyway, good stuff, you guys. Good stuff. Shelly L says, "Hi, Baron. I know Martha isn't talking. She was a fashion model, a stockbroker, a caterer before her career took off." Cheers to that one. Yes, absolutely. Martha Stewart should I say, she wore a lot of hats. And Stewart isn't even her name. That's her husband's name. She wasn't born Martha Stewart, but she trades on this idea that she is this somewhat what do you call it, high class, old money Martha Stewart from some big time New England old money family, and nothing could be further from the truth. Martha Stewart made money the old fashioned way. She earned it. She didn't have like a big trust fund or anything like that. She trades on her husband's name, or her late husband, divorced husband, whatever. That is, I mean, because I don't remember what her birth name is, but trust me, she wouldn't have gotten far with that. Martha Stewart's birth name. Let me see. Martha Helen. Is it Costera? Costera? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think she would have been able to trade on that image. I mean, never say never, but yeah. Yeah, not exactly the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant from New England that she portrays herself to be. She is actually um, of Eastern European descent, which is fine. I mean, Andrew Stewart, that was her husband's name. They divorced in 1990. Andrew Stewart. But yeah, she's of Polish heritage. And listen, I'm not trying to out her. I'm just saying that Meghan has made a name for herself as Meghan Markle, Rachel Meghan Markle, whereas Martha Stewart, she's using her husband's. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to come for her. I promise you I'm not. I'm just saying that she what do you call it? She traded on this idea that she was this white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, a wasp, as they say, and that and that she is like old money, old Connecticut money, old Massachusetts money. But listen, I give her all the credit in the world. She has made an incredible life for herself. So I'm not taking anything from her. I promise you I'm not. I admire her rise to success. Let me see here. No one knows who Martha Stewart is. She is clout chasing Meghan for relevance, and yet it backfires. Watch, did she, what, I'm sorry, what did she say about herself? No one knows. She is a bitter, bitter Betty trying to be relevant. Yeah, I mean, um, what is she? She's almost twice Megan's age, and it's kind of silly to act like that, and that's why I kind of compared it to the way Aretha Franklin used to carry on. I think Aretha Franklin used to be kind of um, hard on people. As much as I love Aretha Franklin, I never wanted to meet her because I figured she would disappoint me because she can be, well, she could be very cruel to people. I mean, there's a lot of stories of people, these people that said it when she was alive that she was not very nice and that they, were excited to meet her. And then when they did, it was just like she looking down her nose. And remember how she, when Martha Stewart, I'm sorry, what am I saying, Martha Stewart? When Beyonce called Tina Turner the queen, she didn't call her the queen of soul. She just said the queen. And Aretha Franklin made it very well known that she did not like that she took exception to it. So I I can see that we kind of have that type of energy going on with Martha Stewart. And it's a shame too because I used to like her a lot, but I can't roll with her like this. Social climber, remember after she got out of prison? I don't know why I always laugh when I say that. But remember when she got out of prison, she clout chased with Snoop Dogg. Didn't she have a Netflix documentary? Anyone watch it? Nope. Did you ever see that picture of Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg? And they was like saying one of these people are a convicted felon and the other one is not. I thought that was really funny. Uh, yes, she should be trying to uplift a younger person. I don't like when older people behave like this. I really don't. I think it's like punching down, because as a younger person, you want to respect your elders, you feel obliged to respect your elders, but when your elders are carrying on like this, it's not so easy. It's really puts someone younger at a disadvantage. Um, so yeah, I don't like that kind of behavior. She really needs to stop doing that. Remember how Joan Collins used to say all those little snarky things about Meghan, and then suddenly the Sussex squad made an observation that she could not ignore, and uh, you know, I think Joan Collins was like, okay, let's see. I'm still trying to build generational wealth for my family. Maybe I need to shut up. Good idea. Good idea. Yes, she should look at Megan like a granddaughter. I think that type of that tone she has is very disrespectful. It's rude. Yeah, she's a felon. Once, twice, three times a felon. And I know you went to jail too. Oh, you once, twice, insider trading. Isn't that what she got convicted for? Insider trading? And they were really after her because just about everybody in the United States Congress most everybody in the presidential cabinet, all of those people, um, I put it to you like this. If you had a scale and you put the insider traders on the left and the non-insider traders on the right, um, how many people do you think would be on the um, lighter part of the scale? How many people? And how many of them do you think would be almost breaking the scale in two? I mean, it's that's the name of the game in Washington is insider trading. But it seemed like she was singled out for some reason. Now, I took her side because, she was a huge fundraiser for Democrats. Her social circle, they raised a lot of money for the Democrat candidate. But you know how I am. I have a soft spot for the Duchess of Sussex, and I'm just not going to allow this. I am not. Yes, she should be supportive. She should be supportive instead of being so full of herself. Okay. There's a group shot. So far, the girl in the green, the girl in black, and the girl in the lilac color there. I saw them on that video that came out today. I hope you guys get a chance to see this one. There they are on the left side there. Um, oh, and the little girl there with the glasses, she's the one who was saying, I believe, that how come they don't make diabetic cookies? And I do believe she wears a patch. I believe she wears one of those patches with the medication. So that is a very serious topic, and I really do applaud her for saying what probably a lot of other people were thinking. And I bet you that there's going to be some choices available in the spring. I'm pretty sure it will be. So, cheers to her. And there's Alyssa, the filmmaker, and there's that executive producer, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. So I am going to play the sound for this. I am going to play the sound. I may not do the whole thing because I think it's kind of long, but I do love when we enjoy these things together, together. Oh, you guys, I have been binge watching movies. That's why I didn't come on last night. I decided to binge watch because I had made those shorts earlier in the day. So I'm just like, okay, I can't do anything else today. And I watched that old movie from the 1970s with Stocker Channing. Do you guys remember the movie, The Girl Most Likely to? I haven't seen that movie since I was a kid. It's called The Girl Most Likely to, and it's a 1973 ABC Movie of the Week. When was the last time you heard that? An ABC Movie of the Week. Oh man, I love that movie. If you haven't seen it, do check it out. It's um, not going to give you nightmares. It's not going to keep you up at night. It's kind of like a dark comedy. If anything, it's like a dark comedy. Stocker Channing, the girl most likely to. Okay. I am going to give you the link in case you want to see it another time. Oh, you know what? I will create a post. I will create a post. This is the movie. If you know, you know. Okay. I just posted it. So You can check it out whenever you want to. But it was a fun and funny movie. The Girl Most Likely To with Stockard Channing, the one who played Rizzo in the hit musical Grease, the movie Grease. Okay, so that's just one of the things that I watched, but I pay a fortune for all of these streaming services, and I never watch them. Although you could watch that one free of charge on YouTube. I guess I still never watch them. Oh man. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Thank you for sharing that. Cookies and cream. Martha Stewart, with her criminal past, is in no position whatsoever to give Meghan any advice. She needs to leave Meghan alone and report to her parole officer. Oops, I threw that part in, didn't I? Yeah, you didn't say that. I said that. That slipped. But yeah, she needs to report to she needs to report to her parole officer and leave Meghan the H alone. Okay? Report to your parole officer, Missy, and leave our Duchess alone. She ain't bothering you. She ain't got no tan line from a ankle bracelet. Okay? She hasn't done any of those things. And she built a name for herself with her birth name. She didn't have to use her maiden name and pretend like she was some kind of New England East Coast old money aristocrat. And on top of that, more people could look at her picture anywhere in the world and tell you who she is. And as for Martha Stewart, they'll probably think that she's Penny Marshall from Laverne and Shirley. Yeah, they'll probably think she's Penny Marshall from Laverne and Shirley. So leave Meghan alone. If you don't start none, there won't be none. Hello. You know, the hard part about Martha Stewart driving herself to the store is she can never forget where she parked her broom. You know what I mean? Where did she leave the broom today? How is she going to get back home without her broom? Oh, okay. I'm through. I'm through. No, I still like Martha Stewart, you guys. I do. She just need to try to control that mouth because she talked too much. She's getting a little mouthy in her old age. She needs to calm down and stop being so grand. She wasn't so grand when she was before she was Martha Stewart, was she? When she was Martha, what's her name? Or Martin. She wasn't so grand back in those days when people couldn't even pronounce her name. Huh? Was she that grand before we knew how to say her last name? No. Now all of a sudden she's Martha Stewart from Connecticut. Oh, she lives in that estate over across the what do you call it? Across the pond. She lives in that estate across the pond. Yes, that Martha Stewart from Connecticut and the Connecticut Stewarts. Yes, not just Martha Stewart, but the Martha Stewart from Connecticut? I don't think so. I do not think so. Let me see. Where was she born? You know, she was such a lady. Uh, before I read this recent thing she said about Meghan. Before that, she was such a lady. Now she's turned into that old broad. Now she's turned into that old broad. Oh, and by the way, her birthday was August the 3rd, you guys, the day before Meghan's birthday. Just in case you guys didn't know that. Let me Stewart. Stewart was convicted of felony charges related to the M-Clone stock trading case. She served 5 months in federal prison for fraud and was released in March of 2005. There was speculation that the incident would effectively end her media empire. But in 2005, Stewart began a comeback campaign. Oh, yes, I forgot about that. Let me see. Okay. Oh, she used to babysit the children of Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, and Gil McDougall. All right. Damn, how old is she? Wait a minute. No wonder she's so mean and surly. She's from New Jersey. You know what, guys? Let me leave her alone before she beat and calls some people on me. She was born in New Jersey City, New Jersey. Now, technically, I think that is still a New England state, but it's a hell of a long way from Connecticut. Yeah, it's certainly not Connecticut. Yes, born Martha Ruskowski. Martha Ruskowski. I think I'm saying it right. Oh, her mother's name was Martha. Her mother's name was Martha Rukowski, and her father was Edward. Um, I don't know, Kosovo. Her mother's name was Martha Robertussen, and her father's name was Edward Kosovo. So, uh, yeah, okay. So she graduated from Nutley High School. I'm not making it up. Nutley High School. She is nuts. That makes sense. And she attended the Barnard College of Columbia University, originally planned to major in chemistry, but switching to art history and later architectural history. And that's when she met Andrew Stewart from the Yale Law School. Oh, I don't think she graduated though, did she? It don't look like she graduated. She just went to school to get a husband like a lot of women did back in those days. You didn't go to college to let me stop you guys. I'm sure Martha Stewart has a fine education and I'm not going to go there. I have slandered that old broad enough for now. You know, if she ever get bored with Martha Stewart's living, she could start another podcast media empire. Remember that show with Bob Vila where they used to fix up the houses? Remember that? This Old House? Well, she could do a show called This Old Broad, where you take a aging household, what do you call it? Home style guru, and you take a aging, declining, uh, you take a dilapidated, aging, declining home style guru, and you try to fix her up. Just like Bob Vila used to fix up them houses and called it This Old House. Well, somebody can where's that at? Oh well. Oh, there she is. Somebody can start doing some renovation and restoration on This Old Broad. But you can't just say This Old Broad. You got to say This Old Broad. You know what I'm saying? You got to put a little grit in it. This Old Broad. You know what? I just thought about it. I wonder how her acting skills are. Since Meghan has been accused of invading her turf as a household guru, maybe she should become an actress. And maybe she should have her own sitcom called Broad. And then there's Broad. And then there's Broad. And then there's Broad. And then there's Nosy getting in people business, making up stuff and telling lies. Right on, Broad. There you go. Yeah, she can have a sitcom, a little comedy called This Old Broad. I mean, Broad. Yeah, just like Maud, Broad. Oh, excuse me a second. Okay. I think I've said enough about Martha Stewart. I want to show her the proper respect that a lovely New England, old world, old money aristocrat, quiet wealth person like herself deserves. Right? Okay. I think I've said enough. I think they got the point. Right on, Broad. And then there's Broad. And then there's Broad. And then there's Broad.
Today, we are taking over the Tasty Kitchen to invent a brand new cookie flavor from scratch. But Cookie Queens, you're the ones who are in charge of making this flavor. Are you ready to invent a cookie?
Yeah. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, first question. What 3 flavors absolutely have to be in your dream cookie?
Shortbread, definitely, like a vanilla shortbread. Second, probably strawberry jam. And third, the best of all, cream.
Well, I'm going to try to recreate ours cookie, a shortbread thumbprint.
By the way, these are from left to right. So the first one was the girl on the left, and now the girl in the middle, she is saying some of those thumb cookies that Meghan is so famous for.
Cookie with sugar-free strawberry jam and maybe a little bit of vanilla drizzled.
I really want to do a caramel and pecan and chocolate one, like a turtle.
And if you had a magical ingredient, what would it be?
Magical brown sugar, because brown sugar makes everything better. So as long as there's magical brown sugar in the cookie and a little on the side for me to eat, then we'll get.
You know, I like the girl in the lilac because she is very specific. She says magical brown sugar. I didn't know that it made much of a difference, but according to her, if you use brown sugar, that helps to heighten your cookie experience.
I honestly don't think I would probably have to add a magic ingredient.
Cream, because everybody loves that creamy texture, like an Oreo.
Like
Oh,
a
yeah.
strawberry milkshake almost.
Oh, yeah.
When would your cookie be the perfect treat?
Probably in spring. Yeah, it gives like a nice flowery strawberry type.
And
Again, we're going from left to right. So that was the girl on the left. Now the girl in the middle.
summer, you would want like a nice treat, but in winter, you can dip it in hot cocoa. So I think it would be like a perfect treat any place, anywhere.
I always associate caramel with fall, so I think mine would be a fall cookie.
If you could name your cookie anything in the world, what would you name it?
Maybe the friendship circle because it's round, and also because of there's a special tradition in Girl Scouts where you cross your right arm over your left at the end of the meeting, and you sing the song "Make New Friends," and they call that a friendship circle.
Now, again, that's the girl on the right with the lilac. I'm not sure that that is a child. I am convinced that that is a marketing CEO of some advertising firm. No way that girl is that good at coming up with names for cookies. Do you know how people go to school for years to come up with stuff like that? But I am going to let them pretend like she is a child coming up with these incredible ideas. But yeah, that's what she says. She wants it to be the friendship circle cookie.
Put the cookie in the middle.
Yeah.
Be like friendship circle.
And what fun slogan would go on your cookie box?
Very delicious, but slightly nutritious.
That's the girl on the left.
So cute. We'll always start with a friendship circle. So let's always be friends.
That's the girl in the middle.
True friendship is sharing the last cookie.
Oh,
Wow. What Girl Scouts value does your cookie represent the most?
Ooh, so friendship is a really huge one, and also loving one another and treating a Girl Scout like a sister.
Yeah. Oh, Nikki, you just stole my answer.
Sorry.
It's fine.
So while the Tasty team, while they're baking up our cookies, I heard you had some questions for us.
Yes, we
Sure.
do. What is your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
On the classics, I'm a Thin Mint gal. And also when I was filming with you for weeks and weeks and weeks, I got to taste so many cookies, and I've become a real fan of the lemonades.
But I like the shortbread, so I really like the trefoils too. I like to dip them in jam.
Oh, I've never heard someone do that.
Yeah, or sandwich them together with jam in between.
So, Megan, what is something you were told as a child that still guides you today?
My teacher, Miss Palia, said, keep a good heart. I think it's one of those simple things that you can always remember no matter what situation you're in. Just keep a good heart.
What do you think young girls teach adults that adults sometimes forget?
One thing that I've learned from you all is to ask questions, like difficult questions, and to want the world to be better, like not to give up on that.
And also that you don't just want it to be better, that you're putting the do's behind the says. You're actually doing things to make it better. And you're coming together as a team to make it better. That part is so inspiring. It's amazing. Our cookie queens gave Tasty quite the challenge. They wanted a lot of strawberries, warm cinnamon spice, buttery shortbread, and of course, a little bit of chocolate. So our Tasty chefs combined freeze-dried strawberries with swirls of strawberry jam for a bright, fruity flavor. Then they added crushed ginger cookies to bring in those cozy cinnamon and ginger notes, and finally topped each cookie with a drizzle of white chocolate. The result is a brand new cookie inspired by the three of you. So, cookie queens, are you ready to see what your cookie looks like?
Yes.
They smell good
They smell really impressive. Okay, so now you have to go and sell them.
Can we taste them first?
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Looks like the chefs did a really nice job on
Yeah,
it.
they do.
Whoa.
It's delicious.
Agreed.
I think you're going to very easily sell these. So you have 3 minutes to sell these cookies to the team upstairs.
All right, what should our sales pitch be?
Oh my
Great
gosh.
question. We have to brainstorm here.
So there's definitely strawberry and white chocolate. Those are like the big flavors I taste.
But it also has like that good jam.
Yeah, and
but
it's
it's
gooey.
it's like the gooey jam.
Mhm.
But I think we could probably change the name to Berrylicious because
Berrylicious badges.
Okay, so you ready?
Yeah,
All right,
Yeah.
let's do
Okay, on the count of three. One, two, three.
So we all put our very best ideas towards a cookie together, and we got this.
called the Berrylicious Badges.
These cookies are strawberry jam,
White chocolate
white
drizzle,
chocolate.
And they're very good.
They have
Yes,
some
they are good.
spices, cinnamon, yeah,
ginger.
and they are perfect for every season.
They're good anywhere for anything.
And
Yes.
we're hoping the customers will like them too.
They're only $1.50 each,
Yes.
and they are worth the
Your
price.
taste buds will be happy.
Who wants cookies?
Come get your Girl Scout cookies.
We should sing the song.
Come buy some Girl Scout cookies. Throw your dollars, cookies. Throw your dollars, cookies. Come buy some cookies. Come get some
Thanks for watching, and don't miss Cookie Queens in theaters on August 7th.
Okay, so God, I hope none of that music was copyright. But yeah, so there you go. That was the Cookie Queens conversation with Alyssa and Meghan. Those cookies look divine. Oh, don't those look delicious? They actually had I guess a couple chefs or whatever standing by, and based on the ideas that the girls had, they went to town and started coming up with a unique cookie flavor. Now, if they sell those cookies for the Girl Scout cookie drive, I don't think they're going to be as amazing as what we see right there, because those cookies look like they're gooey and delicious and soft. A fresh baked cookie, not something like with the crunch to it and everything. Either way, I would try it just the same, but I want a cookie like that where it's still got just a little heat from the oven in the center. Oh my God, that looks so good. I'm going to have to go over that and figure out what the recipe was and try to make my own. But yeah, that looks delicious. And make it with some of Megan's raspberry preserve. Or strawberry. Raspberry or strawberry. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I can't wait to see it either. So that was anyway, watch the film for yourself. It is still out there. I don't know where to find it, but let me see. Do they have I wonder if they have a Cookie Queens YouTube channel. I don't know if they do, but I'm going to check right now. Nope, I don't see one. But if I can, there's the link right there. Aha. Okay, you guys, I am going to give you the link where you can watch this. And it's a channel that has 21.3 million subscribers. So it's not, it's not someone's fly-by-night channel. It's something that's very well established. So that's the link right there. Oh, you know what? I need to pin that, don't I? Okay, I'm going to pin it so you can watch it for yourselves. Meghan is so good at interviewing people. I think that is really her superpower, is doing interviews, among other things. But that is definitely her superpower. All right, so you got that information. You know what to do with it. And I believe they had a movie in the park night somewhere, didn't they? Was this the movie in the park? I believe they had a movie in the park night for the group that meeting that they were. Yeah, it was some kind of movie in the park. I just don't remember where it was. Now, let's get on to this one. Jeremy Vine admitting he can't figure out who Kate is and whether she's even enjoying her role. Tell you everything you need to know about this boring, bland woman and why she is jealous of Meghan, who actually has a personality. It's bizarre that 15 years after she married into the royal family, and with all the resources at her disposal, Kate is still using every excuse under the sun for her terrible public speaking and lack of work ethic. Invisible cancer, children, blah, blah, when all she needs to do is get off her arse and get some public speaking coaching. If 19-year-old Diana could do it, surely 44-year-old Kate can do it too. Let me see. Oh, that's so small. Why am I looking at it like that? She can keep tearing down other women to elevate herself, but eventually she has to stand on her own merits. Well, thank you, Sandy Sussex. Now, let me get that sound bite from the Jeremy Vine show. And we'll talk on the other side.
And that's not her fault. I'm sure it's my fault. But I feel, and she's like a silent movie queen. She's mysterious to me. Now, I know she's been ill, and that's a big part of it. And she's also probably quite private. But I can't sort of work out who she is. And I don't know if she's enjoying it.
Oh yeah, no, she's well. Key thing is they have to split between what's private and what's public and protecting their children. No, she is enjoying it, and the cancer diagnosis and treatment has sort of turbocharged her public role. So you'll definitely see more of Catherine. I was told by somebody who was there at the very start that we didn't want to rush our fences. They love a horsey analogy. But public speaking was definitely an issue early on, but she's had coaching on that.
Public speaking was definitely an issue early on, but she's had some coaching. Did he say that she had some coaching on that? That the problem is non-existent at this point because she's had some coaching. Has she really? Well, what, pray tell, has that yielded in terms of results? I really want to know, because from what I've seen so far, I'm not so impressed. If that's what happens when one has coaching, okay, this is how Kate started.
Well, obviously it'd be, I would love to have met her, and she's obviously, she's an inspirational woman to look up to. Obviously to this day, and going forward and things, it is, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
Face the daily challenge of finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact. Leaders, you'll face the daily challenge of finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact.
Okay. So that was Kate at about age, what, 30, 31? And then that was Kate well into her 40s. Well into her 40s. And then, of course, another well coached, well trained public outing, you know, with all the results of that coaching that she's had, was when she christened that ship that day.
I have the pleasure to name this ship HMS Glasgow.
What?
May God bless her.
What was that, Kate? I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
I have the pleasure to name this ship HMS Glasgow. To name this ship HMS Glasgow.
HMS? HMS? Does that mean hell of a mess? HMS? Huge mess? Is that what the H is for? Huge mess. HMS. HMS huge.
The pleasure to name this ship HMS Glasgow. May God bless her and all who sail on her.
Okay. Well, that was a result of a great deal of coaching, right? But maybe it's the crowd that kind of throws her. Not that there was a crowd during the interview for their engagement. No, there was no crowd there. There was just a camera crew and a reporter, Tom Bradby, I believe. But let's see. Let me find something a little more intimate for the two of them, where she probably was not subject to any pressure and things were able to go much smoother. I'm sure I have it somewhere. HMS Glasgow. I'm going to have to see what ship that is because I've never heard of a HMS Glasgow. Have you guys heard of it? Because I never heard of it. HMS Glasgow. HMS Glasgow. How about this one?
Tastes very different to sort of that later. Absolutely.
Catherine's got her own bees. She knows a lot about bees. So be careful what you say. You might be corrected.
I could not understand a word she said.
Tastes very different to sort of that later. Absolutely.
Catherine's got her own bees.
Now, I heard tastes very different, and then it just dropped off after that. Okay. Not only does it taste very different, it sounds very different. All right. Okay. You know what? Now, I have one where she absolutely positively nailed it. And to be fair to her, I'm going to share the one that she absolutely nailed. Because it's not fair to just highlight something that is, you know, soft-spoken, overly soft-spoken, or something that is unintelligible. That would be rude. So I'm trying to think. Oh, okay, I know what I need. Just to be fair, you know, because I'm interested in fairness. I really am. Okay, this is a good one right here.
All of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB.
Well done on all you've achieved. You've been an inspiration to us all.
From all of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB.
Well done on all you've achieved. You've been an inspiration to us all.
From all of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB.
Well done on all you've achieved. You've been an inspiration to us all.
From all of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB. Well done on all you've achieved. You've been an inspiration to us all.
Now you see, that is very highbrow. That is very, very highbrow. From all of us at home. Did you hear that? That is very, very top drawer. See how she curls her lips to get that out? From all of us there. From all of us at home. To all ooh. You see how she ooh. I've been saying it the wrong way. I didn't know you had to go ooh. Say to all, not all, but all of us.
GB. Well done. From all of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB. Well done on all you've achieved. You've been an inspiration to us all. From all of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB. For all you've achieved, you've been an inspiration to us all. From all of us watching at home, From all of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB. Well done on all you've achieved. You've been.
Now you know, they always have those lip readers. I don't know how they can understand the words she's saying, but they say they know what she's talking about. Well, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Well, I stand corrected. I thought maybe she had a problem, but maybe she don't. If you just lean in far enough, if you just listen close enough, and if you just, I'm just kidding. I can't understand her. Anyway,
Inspiration to us all. All of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB. Well done on all you've achieved. You've been an inspiration to us all. From all of us watching at home,
yeah, you gotta kind of tilt your head. And it also helps if you could hide that top lip. See how she had that top lip? That's how you do it, guys. That's how you do it. If you want to talk like a real aristocrat, you just follow what Kate is doing right now. From all of us here. You see what I'm saying? It's not difficult. Now do it with me.
From all of us,
watching.
Team GB. Well done on all you've achieved. You've been an
inspiration
to us all. From all of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB. Well done on all you've achieved. You've been an inspiration to us all.
Okay, you guys, my mouth is tired. Really, my mouth is tired. I've been trying to, do my lips like that but it hurts. It really hurts. It's giving me a migraine. So I'm going to stop that now because apparently I'm just not high class enough to do that. I'm not high class enough. I've never heard of a HMS Glasgow. So, okay. That's all. All right. So, Omid Scobie, you guys, I put the link for this in the community, the community post. It's about an hour, I believe. I haven't even watched the whole thing, but Omid Scobie was dropping some truth bombs, and he talked about his experience as a royal reporter. He even mentioned the phone hacking. So if you haven't had a chance to see it, make sure you do. As a matter of fact, I know I forgot to hit the like button when I was watching it, but I'm going to go back and finish that interview probably when I'm done because I thought it was pretty impressive. So I'm going back and I'm hitting the like button. Now I'm just going to share a couple of parts of this because it was an hour and 14 minutes long. Okay. From all of us watching at home, from all of us. Come on, Omid. Omid Scobie, I'm waiting for you, sir. Oh, Lord, this thing is buffering like crazy. Okay, that's not good. Let me try this one more time.
Day. It was interesting. I mean, I think the revival of Meghan was like the ultimate test for the royal institution, because it was like, can it adapt to a multicultural or a diverse Britain and the Commonwealth in a way that it needs to? And it was its one and only chance. And we saw that in the actions that followed, it failed at that. But so much of it was just about not defending her from the inevitable attacks and sort of one-sided coverage that came from the tabloids. You know, I think we've kind of discussed to death those early days of the headlines of Straight Outta Compton, because her mum lived, 45 minutes away from Compton, and somehow the newspaper connected it together. Or there was talk of her being raised on the wrong side of the tracks.
When she went to private school.
Yeah, exactly. There was, I remember the Daily Mail did a family tree of hers, and they called her family and her past upwardly mobile. And it was like from cotton picking to wherever. And it was just like, okay, so already, without opening her mouth, without even knowing anything about her personality, she was getting the British tabloid treatment, which is always going to be from that place of, if you are different, we're going to treat you as such, and we're going to lean on stereotypes, and we're going to pander to the lowest common denominator, or their reader. And so I think when she then started to develop her own opinions and thoughts on things, that was like kind of like made things doubly hard for her. And then when it got to the point where she started speaking out, because she was already a woman of color in a hallowed, ancient, traditional institution, the fact that she spoke up and didn't seem deferential to it or indebted to it for this golden opportunity made people angry. It was like, well, how dare you? You're not even supposed to be there. You should be grateful. You're not even supposed to be there, but you're there and you're complaining like death to you, you know?
Okay. So now that's upwardly mobile, how in 150 years, Meghan Markle's family went from cotton slaves to royalty via freedom in the U.S. Civil War, while her dad's ancestors included a maid at Windsor Castle. And of course, the almost Straight Outta Compton. And of course, they only threw that almost in there so that it would seem like plausible deniability. Well, we didn't say. Oh, we know what you meant. We know exactly what you meant. The truth is, Harry and Meghan are straight out of Montecito, okay? And as we all know, in Montecito, there are no leaks in Montecito. If that's where they're from, then that's where they're straight out of Montecito. Word. Let's see, Harry to marry into gangster royalty. New love from crime-ridden neighborhood. Thin blue blood and Spencer pale skin and ginger hair with some rich and exotic DNA. That was Rachel Johnson, you know, Boris Johnson's sister. She's supposed to be a feminist, by the way. And of course, again, the almost Straight Outta Compton. Do you know that when CBS aired this the day after the Oprah interview, the British tabloids were so angry they were absolutely livid. Not because CBS lied, but because they told the truth. That screenshot came from CBS Sunday Morning Show. They didn't like that. They were so busy trying to condemn the Sussexes. They also gave a lot of people who had these romantic ideas about the UK being this liberal bastion of glory. Well, they found out that there is a very subversive and subtle racism, which somewhat mirrors racism that you would find here in the US, but it's even more sinister because there is like a greater plausible deniability, right? And yet it's so persistent. So yeah, if you go there, you're never really so far from home. That's what I realized when I went there. But I met a lot of really nice people, and I can just say that I've had that one experience where they did not believe that I had a first class ticket on the train. That was the only experience of note, was that one. However, like any place else that I've ever been, sometimes it's not until I get home that I realize, oh, Brixton was a bad neighborhood. It didn't seem like it to me, but that's what they said, is that it could be rather dodgy. I literally walked right through a council estate, some high-rise buildings, walked right through it. I didn't see anybody. There was nobody out there but me. And this was the middle of the day. So everybody experience is going to be different. But also I've seen and read a lot of things since my last visit there. But I have no regrets about going. And I really, really did enjoy myself. And I met some really, really nice people. So there you have it. Not really. Not really. They have a very strong fear of others. It's very interesting that the biggest question is, how did you get here? And of course, anyone who doesn't have generations and generations of ancestors should ask the question, how did you get there? If you could tell us how you got to where my people came from, I'll tell you how my people got here. Something that I feel very strongly about myself. The last thing I ever want to hear someone say to me is, go back to Africa. Nah, I'm from here. I'm not from there. I'm from here. So there you go. Keep calm and move to Montecito. That's the game plan, is to keep calm and move to Montecito. Let me see. I thought I had one more Omid Scobie to share. Let me see if I got that.
I think with Harry, we did see him kind of accept, that's not for me. I'm going to be the military one, and I've got my path. And he stayed on that path. No complaints along the way. Meghan.
I don't know about that music in the background. Let me try something else. Because I tell you, sometimes they have the music in the background and you think you're okay and you're not. So we don't want to take any chances.
Survival of Meghan was like the ultimate test for the royal institution, because it was like, can it adapt to a multicultural or a diverse Britain and the Commonwealth in a way that it needs to? And it was its one and only chance. And we saw that in the actions that followed, it failed at that. But so much of it was just about not defending her from the inevitable attacks and sort of one-sided coverage that came from the tabloids. You know, I think we've kind of discussed to death those early days of the headlines of Straight Outta Compton, because her mum lived, 45 minutes away from Compton.
Okay, so that's a repeat. Sorry about that.
Was like the ultimate test for the royal.
Nope.
Survival of Meghan was like the ultimate test for the.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, guys. All of these are the same. So.
Meghan's mere presence completely changed that. Their mere existence, their mere story, has raised issues about misogyny within the institution of the monarchy, about unconscious bias or racism. And I know Harry called it unconscious bias. I'm still going to call it racism, because I think that it's only not racist when it's unconscious. The second someone makes it conscious to you and you try and minimize it or skirt the topic, or recollections may vary it, that is racism. You know, and I'm sorry to you know, that even me saying that makes people feel uncomfortable, but it's the reality. But then there's also bigger issues about the institution's entrenchment with the.
Okay, that is Omid Scobie. For some reason, I had the speed turned up, so I just turned it back down. Let me play that again, and listen to it again, because I've never heard Omid be so candid in my life. But listen to this.
He entered an institution that has not changed for centuries. Meghan's mere presence completely changed that. Their mere existence, their mere story, has raised issues about misogyny within the institution of the monarchy, about unconscious bias or racism. And I know Harry called it unconscious bias. I'm still going to call it racism, because I think that it's only not racist when it's unconscious. The second someone makes it conscious to you and you try and minimize it or skirt the topic, or recollections may vary it, that is racism. You know, and I'm sorry to you know, that even me saying that makes people feel uncomfortable, but it's the reality. But then there's also bigger issues about the institution's entrenchment with the British media, that toxic relationship that has actually made the lives of other family members a living hell. And I wrote the other day, I said, I think the royal family need to realize that they don't even need the British media.
Now, that was back in 2023. First of all, let me do this. That was 2023 Omid Scobie. I just kind of found that just now. I don't think I've ever heard him speak as candidly as that, but yeah, that was 2023 Omid Scobie. And I love the fact that he even took Harry to task. He's like, it's only unconscious bias when you don't know that's what you're doing. But the minute you say it, and you know, with your full chest, so to speak, then that's when it becomes racism. He said, Harry calls it one thing, I call it something else. Now, also, I'm going to just say this, and you all know who you are. There were a lot of people back in the day that really gave Omid Scobie the side eye. If you ask me, Omid Scobie's book, Endgame, did way more damage than Spare. I repeat, Endgame done way more damage than Spare. And the reason why I say that is because of the reaction from the House of Windsor. Them heifers couldn't work hard enough when that book came out. And all of a sudden, all they could do was take pictures with black people. Black people. Every time you turn around, they were holding somebody black, hugging somebody black, except for Charles. You know how he is. But Endgame is the reason why Omid Scobie is in California. They ran that man out of the country. They threatened his life. They threatened his family. He had to go. So Spare, best-selling nonfiction in history, is still a fantastic book. But if you ask me which one gave the institution more nightmares, I'm going to have to say it was Endgame. And the real magic of it was that it was all so subtle. It was very subtle. It exposed Kate. I mean, it almost killed Kate, didn't it? That almost drove her to an early grave. All of a sudden, she had cancer or something thereabouts. Charles, all of a sudden, he had cancer or something thereabouts. That was a scary moment for them. So don't get me wrong, Spare was still did a lot. But Endgame, it almost was an Endgame. And just think, if he was not trying to be a light touch when he wrote that book, he kept it very neutral in some ways, ambiguous. He left them outs and openings where they could interpret it one way or the other. And even with that, it caused a panic all the way from the release until they finally said, "Oh, Kate's got cancer. Charles got cancer." It wasn't enough they had surgery. Nay. It wasn't enough. They had to have cancer. That was the only thing that made people forget about that book. The two times that the Sussex's popularity rose, actually, I'm going to say the Sussexes, was the Oprah interview and Endgame. Harry's popularity soared when Spare came out. So it's really interesting how just 3 isolated events, 3 or 4. Let me see. Oprah, Spare, Endgame. Okay. So let's say those 3. Oh, yeah, and the docuseries. The docuseries. That was also a boost to their popularity. So those 4 events, suddenly their popularity rose. But the reason why there seems to be so much hostility from Salt Island is because in between those big events like that, there is nonstop, around the clock misinformation from the Royal Rota. That army of so-called journalists that hit the streets, hit the airwaves. Now they got Substack, and it's just one lie after another, day after day after day. And that is very costly. It is very costly. The only way you get relief from that is with shock and awe. You shock them with a novel, with a with a biography. And then you awe them with an interview. And suddenly the royal family doesn't seem so great. So, yeah, but there were a lot of people who was giving Omid Scobie the side eye. Yes, Omid Scobie, I believe his mother is white and his father is what, Persian or something like that. So he knows what it means to be a biracial kid growing up in the UK. And he and Meghan happen to be the same age, I believe. So they have a lot in common that a lot of people don't even realize. And both of them were totally, attacked because of that family, because of that institution. I believe the only person in the Royal Rota that Omid still calls a friend is Robert Jobson. Robert Jobson encouraged people to read his book. He openly said that it's a great book and that you ought to read it. And then he went right back to trashing Harry and Meghan. Yes, it is. It's a very good book. I guess the moral of the story is you never know where your blessings are going to come from. And I say Endgame was a blessing. I wish it would have been a little more, hard hitting, but I mean, as it was, Omid had to leave the country. He had fear that his family, they went after his family. I mean, they literally went after his family. They went after his family the way that the tabloid media goes after anybody's family. And that was kind of scary for him. So he had to leave. But the good thing is he has a series coming out. There was a bidding war. And so he's in good shape. Okay, so I think I'm almost done, am I? I think so. Where am I at here? Let me get back down here. I was there. I don't have a whole lot to say about Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi, I think they're having a conversation about her pay again. Let's see. Whoopi said her View paycheck would shock viewers. The EGOT winner, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony, the EGOT winner made the comments on Keke Palmer's Baby, This is Keke Palmer podcast, where she was asked what she loves most about the show. The check, Goldberg said. I love the check. When Palmer pressed on the size, Goldberg insisted she couldn't imagine the figure. Trust me, you can't. You would be shocked, she added. As soon as they showed you the check, you'd be like, what the? Goldberg also reflected on her gratitude for the role, recalling how Barbara Walters offered her the job nearly 20 years ago. I needed a job. Barbara offered me a job, she said. She brought me over, and it's like I've been crazy glued to that chair. What is Whoopi Goldberg really worth? Well, according to Feminagra, Whoopi Goldberg's recent comments about her salary have reopened a conversation Monique was having years ago. The point is not that several $1 million is a small amount. It's that pay should be judged against a person's value, experience, workload, and the money generated around them. Journalist Yashir Ali previously reported that 3 people familiar with Whoopi's contract placed the annual salary at approximately $6 million. That is substantial by any ordinary standard, but it is not Oprah money, nor does it automatically mean she's being paid generously relative to her stature. Whoopi is an EGOT winner with decades of film, television, and cultural influence behind her. Whoopi has earned substantial sums across film, television, theater, and publishing. But hosting a daily program requires continuing workload that differs from completing a single film role. At the same time, when Whoopi says people would be shocked by what she earns, she may not be boasting at all. She may be suggesting that the figure is lower than audiences assume, especially given how often she has said she still needs to work. That interpretation would make Monique's earlier reaction even more relevant. Whoopi told me this is what Monique said. Whoopi told me the salary she makes from The View, and that hurt my feelings. You've been there for 10 years and you accept them paying you that? Because you accept that salary, it makes it hard for me. And how hard do you think it's going to make for one who ain't here yet? Now, that's what Monique said. Monique was not simply counting another woman's money. Her argument was that when someone at Whoopi's level accepts less than her market value, it can influence the rates that is offered to Black women coming behind her. People dismiss that concern as bitterness, but salary secrecy often protects employers more than workers without honest conversations. Underpayment remains easy to hide. Okay, so that was about anyway, if you want to see the last few paragraphs, you can just go ahead over to Feminagra. But this is what I have to say about that. Television, legacy television, is a dying industry. Legacy television is disappearing. It is not what it used to be. The budgets are not as big. The profits are not as grand. You know, they have to put a lot of reality shows and stuff on television because they really can't afford to make soap operas anymore. It gives them a higher profit margin. People have an appetite for reality TV. And as for Whoopi Goldberg's salary, I don't think it would be fair to compare her to Oprah because Oprah had production rights. Oprah had the mother of all television contracts. I don't know that Whoopi Goldberg has any production rights. That belonged to Barbara Walters. Barbara Walters was in the Oprah position, the executive producer. It was Barbara's idea, and it was Barbara's show. And Whoopi Goldberg is just one of several people sitting at the desk and several people who have sat at that desk over the years. And her resume has nothing to do with her value to morning talk shows. It's a whole nother thing. It's not a film. It's not a Broadway musical or play. It's not a one-woman show. It's none of those things. And so she may have all those trophies, but there's any number of people that they could put in that chair. Whoopi Goldberg has courted disaster because people have grown a bit tired of her rhetoric. Me being one of them. But you want to be fair, but she's just not Oprah. Oprah set a standard that most people on television will never meet. Barbara Walters didn't make as much money as Oprah. Oprah took those stock options. And that's why I tell you guys all the time that when people are trying to count the Sussexes' money, if the Sussexes are being paid with stock options from Netflix, if they are getting stock options, God only knows what their real income is, what their net worth is. because that is huge. Literally, Oprah owns part of CBS. The distribution company, King World, paid Oprah with stock. Now, as far as I know, she hasn't divested. So the success of CBS is Oprah's success. I don't know that Whoopi Goldberg has any of those production rights. But that's where the money comes from. The money is not sitting in the chair. That's why Rolanda, Jenny Jones, Sally Jesse Raphael, none of those people went into the stratosphere. First of all, they didn't have the ratings. And second of all, they did not have that kind of a salary. Oprah had a really good lawyer. She had an excellent lawyer. And that guy really, really went to bat for her. And of course, he got his percentage, but he went to bat for her. She found out what the show was really worth. And it wasn't her idea to go national with the show. That was Roger Ebert's idea. Oprah didn't come up with that herself. Roger Ebert invited Oprah out for dinner. Oprah didn't realize that he likes Black women and that was a date. She thought they were just going as friends. But she caught on when Roger Ebert married a kind of a heavyset Black woman some years later. But he said, we're going to syndicate the at the movies. We're going to go national. I think you should too. And Oprah's response was, do you think that'll work? I know now she plays like she pretends like it was all her idea, but it wasn't. She wasn't even sure that the local show was going to work. So they're very different people. And I with all respect to Whoopi Goldberg and Monique, your resume doesn't mean anything for a morning talk show. Some of the people that are watching them nowadays never knew Whoopi Goldberg was even on Broadway. They know about Sister Act and maybe Star Trek. But what else do they really know about her body of work? Probably not much. I'm looking at some of y'all comments. Okay, well, that's what I had to say about that. If Whoopi Goldberg is getting $6 million, I think she's getting a fair amount of money. In 10 years, what is that, $60 million? I think it's fair, but is it 60 million? Yeah. Yeah, 10 years, I think. Okay. Anyway, good for her. Let me see. Here's a way a royalist like Jeremy Vine finally says Kate is hella boring without saying she's hella boring. Did I do that already? I knew I did one, but there's another one. Let me see. There was a second part to that. Let me do the second part. And then after that, I think we are done after this. Let me see. Well, you know what? I'll finish that tomorrow. Yeah, I'll finish that tomorrow because it's been 2 hours. Okay. Love you guys. Thank you so much. All the best to you. We'll pick this up tomorrow, and then I'll finish those other 3 slides that I have. Okay? And with that, I'm going to say cheers and all the best to you. Thank you for trusting me to do this work. And thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And yeah, and cheers to everyone. Connie Balmer, I didn't know you were here. You know, I just don't feel like her heart is really in the show anymore. I just don't feel like her heart is really in it. You know, it may pay a lot of money, it's a lot of exposure, but after a while, you know, I mean, it's been what, 20 years? So, I mean, she said, I still need to work. It's almost like saying, I'm not there because I want to be, I'm there because I have to be. But hey, I get it. $6 million a year. She probably has a property portfolio to maintain, right? And then, of course, she is the breadwinner for the whole family, her children, her grandchildren. There's a lot of people that are depending on Whoopi Goldberg. So she really cannot stop working. You know, $6 million, most of us here would be set for life. But for Whoopi Goldberg, I mean, just start off and cut that money in half. Okay, so she's got about $3 million left. And then, of course, divide that amongst, you know, her properties and travel. She has to hire a team when she does certain things. You know, she's her own production company. She got people to pay, even if they're family members. And that money goes fast. So I could understand that she needs more money, but I don't think that there's a justification for more than $6 million, especially if she's the highest paid person on the show. And I'm going to assume that she is. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, Joy was there from the start. Joy is the only one that was there from the beginning. And Joy is very popular. And dare I say, there's a lot of people who would rather have Joy Behar than Whoopi Goldberg. There's a lot of people who would rather have Joy. There's a lot of Team Joy, a lot of Team Whoopi, but I'm willing to bet you there was more Team Joy than there is Team Whoopi. Anyway, y'all, let's stop counting this girl's money. If she truly deserves more, I hope she gets everything she got coming. Okay, good night, y'all.